Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Now listen, boxing is failing people. Don't talk to me about the money in boxing. I don't care about all that bullshit. What I'm talking about is right now, fighters getting called out. And it's like they don't even take offense to it. You know, back in the day, calling out a fighter, that was like disrespecting his mother. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, I want to fight him. I think I can beat him. I'm the best pound for pound, and I want to prove it. That guy's not better than me, blah, blah, blah. Yo, fighters would take offense to that because what they just heard was shit like, you know, your mama's ugly. Your mama's fat. Your mama's dumb. That's what they would hear in their heads. And what would they do? They get pissed off. And then what happened? All hell would break loose when those two fighters came across each other. But you're not seeing that anymore. You look at the type of call-outs that have been going on. I mean, I don't even think it's genuine anymore, except for like David Benavidez calling out Canelo. Canelo, for as prideful as he is, for how much he loves the sport of boxing, right? How much he cares about his legacy and how he always wants to kind of, lead people to his resume and, hey, look at me, look what I've done. I deserve the big gold star. Get it. But he ain't even worried about messing with Benavidez. With all the calling out and being disrespectful to him. It's horrible. You take a look at this stuff that's going on right now with Boots and Brian Norman Jr. It seems that Boots is calling out Brian Norman Jr. It seems that Brian Norman Jr. is calling out Boots. But ain't nobody really taking too much disrespect by that. Ain't nobody hearing anyone insulting their mother anymore. It's just like, okay, you could call me out. I'm going to go on and do something else. When they see each other, they walk by each other. They know Barrera Morales type shit going on. They look at each other and just start swinging. It's like nobody cares anymore. Trevor Berbick, Larry Holmes, Riddick Bowe, Holyfield. All that stuff, man. Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, James Toney, Roy Jones, Oscar De La Hoya era, the Mosleys, the Trinidads, the Durans, Leonard Hagler Hearns. Them guys, they took offense to someone calling them out. You know if someone called a fighter out, that means they were going to fight. It ain't this WWE-ish nonsense that's going on now. It's not that. I don't know what it's going to take to get these fighters to get that motivation. You know what? And I really do feel what a lot of these boxing pundits, what they preach, I think there's some truth to it. That the money in boxing, in addition, Floyd Mayweather retiring undefeated, that ruined these cats. I really do. They either want to get the most money possible, which is nothing wrong with that, or they want to make sure they're going to be remain undefeated. And in most instances, they want the most money and the least risk. That shit is crazy to me. In order to be great, let me tell you something, you're going to have to push yourself. You got to take a significant risk when you get in the ring. You just can't come out here, man, and let me see, like a guy like Boots Ennis. I'm not saying he's doing this, but let's say Boots went and fought. Let's say Blair Cobb. And Blair Cobb's one of my favorite fighters. People would go berserk. They're both from Philly. Boots would fight Blair Cobb. People would lose their minds. Like, you just can't do that if you say you want to be great. Canelo fighting Berlanga, I think Canelo's going to lose. But, when it comes to a lot of boxing fans, they're just like, you just can't do that. We know you're great, but this is hurting your legacy. I just think, Boots and Brian Norman Jr., I think that fight should happen. I think Canelo and Benavidez should happen. I think these guys, at least fighters who are calling people out, Virgil Ortiz calling out Crawford, I understand where Crawford's at in his career. I think that fight should happen. Even when you take a look at, Anthony Joshua and what's his name, Tyson Fury, hopefully that happens. Even Deontay Wilder, I think Anthony Wilder and Joshua should have happened. calling each other out for all them years. Look at that shit. How much money was lost because they didn't fight. I think they both were worried about losing, if you ask me. Plus, you got the managers and everyone else getting involved. But it just seems like no one cares anymore. You try that shit back in there. Call out Roberto Duran. Call him out. Him with them little beady eyes. He'll make a beeline for you when he sees you and he's punching you in the face. Guys ain't got that killer in them no more. I'm trying to think. Let me look at something, right? Who has the killer instinct in them? If you call them out, Gervonta Davis is a good example. Him, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. Them four, they ain't never scrapped. All them call-outs. Who's the best? Who's a B word? Who's a P word? All that. No action. They're never fighting. The only one out there who's out there like, I want to fight everybody, who's really about that, is the crazy one, Ryan Garcia. Like, I don't know what happened to that guy over the last couple of years. Like, he just woke up one day and stopped giving a crap, right? Anyway, I just think it's ridiculous, man. I don't know what it's going to take. Do you shove somebody? Maybe that's what they need to get back to, punching people in the face. You know, doing something extreme. Because I think whatever they do needs to be on the level of insulting their mothers to get these guys to fight them. I really do. I think it should be on that level. Now, I'm trying to pull this thing up right here because I just don't understand that we have all this excitement, all this banter, but the fights don't happen. Shakur Stevenson's a payday, but the promoters and managers are getting involved too, man, and they kind of mess things up. But it's crazy. You look at across all these divisions, man, you guys ain't in there scrapping. Keith Thurman took all kind of trash. Who he's going to fight? Him and Earl Spence back and forth. That fight should have happened. I don't care what Earl Spence says. That fight should have happened. I don't care what Keith Thurman said. He should have fought Earl Spence. It's ridiculous. The only one really during that time who was getting busy was Sean Porter. Sean Porter was down. He was down for the get down, wasn't he? Fight everybody. But at this point in time, man, I just think it's horrible. When you look across these divisions, you're seeing that. You know, nobody really wanting to get in there and mix it up. Nobody. All this trash talking, but nobody really wants to do it. Jamal Charlo and Adamus, that shit should have happened. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Anyway, for me, man, as a boxing fan, I want to see these guys who are calling each other out. I want to see them scrap. When they see each other, I like to see a little mash up, crash up. You know, let's get a little bit of violence. It don't need to be maximum violence. Let's get a little minimum violence, and then when they actually get in the ring, then let's upgrade that to maximum violence. But for me, I'm just tired of the talk, the trash talk, and no action. You know what I mean? Like it's old now. And especially when you look at these heavyweights. The heavyweights have really at one point dropped the ball, but now it's kind of bubbling. And I think Turki Al-Sheikh has a lot to do with that because of the money. But again, like I said, right? These guys either want a whole lot of money or they want to remain undefeated. Or they want both. And at least when it comes to the heavyweights, you're seeing the money is kind of driving these guys to fighting each other. But that being said, these guys, man, they got some good fighters in this era. But you go back and look at them fighters of the past. Ali, Foreman's, Frazier's, man. All them killers back during Ali's time before that. You know, you call somebody out, he's supposed to be the top dog, you got to fight. You got to scrap. And boxing now, you can call somebody out and say things about somebody, and you're not really going to get much of a reaction from them. They'll tweet some shit. Even yesterday, we listened to Brian Norman Sr. Boots ain't this and Boots ain't that, but look, he's a great fighter. We respect the family, but I just want to say he ain't this, he ain't that. My man, you're going to insult him or you're not going to insult him? You're going to say that your son beats him or you're going to say that it's a good fight? What are we doing here? No, come out, man. Balls to the wall. All gas, no brakes. F that MFer. He's a B. We'll murder him in the ring. He doesn't deserve that belt. He's a paper champion. F him. When I see him, I'm going to slap him. F his mother, F his father. Now you're going to get the fight. But nobody wants to do that. Anyway, man. Back in the day, calling a fighter was like disrespecting his mother. Today, it means nothing. unless it's going to be some dollar bill, y'all, and a very low risk. Y'all, I'm in the breeze.